All right, cool. All right. So then what happens? Walk us through now some of the last 12 months and where you're at today, and roll that into a nice overview of what the company is today for the people that have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, our first system flew November 30th of 2018, and that was the time where it validated everything that we were doing. Vita is essentially trying to craft and has crafted technology to eliminate the spin and swing of loads below aircraft or on cranes. And
Okay.
essentially, our technology is a drone that attaches to the load or to the cable and provides counter thrust in the direction of the swing to bring the load to center. So a lot of people remember Miss Metro, the Arizona rescue that was spinning out of control that went viral on social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
I,
stopped that in about 3 seconds.
when I saw the video, some of the videos, I watched all the videos I could find when I was doing my homework on you. My first reaction was, this wasn't in place before? Like the military doesn't have this?
Yeah. Our competition is a rope. It's called a tagline, which is literally someone holding it on the ground, which works really well in an open field. But I can tell you from a search and rescue perspective, the amount of times I do a search in an open field is basically nil.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. I can't believe this technology wasn't out there. When you were building this and you were moving along, didn't you have people telling you, saying, well, listen, you're going to try to get this invented, and by the time you guys get this done, the military or Boeing or somebody's going to just put out their own product? I mean, I'm sure you got those conversations all the time.
Yep. And that's exactly why I went to law school.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So that was one of my questions. I'm looking at, I'm like, now, so why did he go to law school? What's that? Where's that coming in from? Oh, see, okay. That makes sense to me now. So you're like, I'm going to learn how to protect myself so I don't have to pay all these legal fees.
Damn straight. So how do you corporately protect yourself? How do you protect yourself from an IP perspective? All those critical things that, especially as early stage entrepreneurs, we deal with on a regular basis. But we are trusting others who we are paying hundreds of dollars an hour to basically craft it. And I said, screw that. I'm going to pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans to just learn it myself. And now we have a very robust internal um, legal practice
Wow.
that protects the company on a very daily basis and arguably an hourly basis.
And does it have other clients? Is that a separate entity that you and Derek filed? Or is that a separate business subsidiary, or what is that?
So it's actually two law students that I yanked from law school to come join me, to come help me in this venture. And so they're both graduating as well. We're all taking the bar in February
Very cool.
to go and actually be real lawyers. But it's been a growth trajectory for them to learn all these different things from litigation to contract law to IP law, et cetera.
I mean, not only can it be your in-house counsel, but it could be a subsidiary or a different revenue arm, a consulting arm of the company. I mean, yeah, you can do all kinds of things with that. Okay, great idea. All right, so are you back to my question about the military rolling something out? I'm watching all this. I'm looking at the videos. I'm like, okay, this is really cool stuff. How does he protect himself? Like, is all this patented, protected now? Are you protected now, or can somebody launch another one? Where are we at?
So we have 56 patents internationally and here in the United States as well.
How did you pay for all those? How'd you get that done?
So,
Raise
I
some more
mean, we
cash.
went from our Series seed round, which was November of 2019 or January of 2019, of 1.2 million and an $8 million valuation. Catalyzed that to an $80 million valuation for 8 million in May of 2019, and then basically continued to grow from there. So it was constant, just
Okay.
strategic raising to be
Okay.
able to support a lot of that growth.
Congratulations on the cash raises. Is this VC money yet, or still angels or PE or a combination of all the above? Give me
First
an
rounds
idea
were
of what.
angel.
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So the first rounds were angel rounds, and then after that, a corporate VC, Kanematsu, out of Japan, came on board and led the Series A round.
Okay, very good. Do you have enough money now that you can manufacture whatever you need? You're not, or do you have a bunch of orders that you can't fill yet because you're still raising some more cash, or manufacturing and production is fine and you're right where you need to be?
So we're actually in the crux of a Series B round right now for us to scale.
Okay.
So we're sitting pretty well. I mean, we've got runway all the way through 2021, which is a rare statement for a startup to say that we've got
Yeah.
over basically
Congrats.
way over 12 months of runway.
Congrats.
Um, The reality, though, is we need to scale. We want to scale quickly because the military wants our tech. There's international agencies that want our tech. And I do not have the team to scale that quickly. So we're actively trying to figure that out and getting very close to the close of that round, which will be an exciting announcement.
Has cash raise all of a sudden become the majority of your job, dealing with cap tables and investors and raising cash? I mean, that's like it or not, somebody in your position, that becomes a huge part of your life all of a sudden, right? It takes up a lot of time.
It does take up a lot of time, that, and then just strategic leadership of the company. One of the things that happened because of COVID was our business model went to shit, to be blunt about it.
Yeah.
We were going to license our tech. We were not going to manufacture.
Oh, really?
And that was our main model.
You changed your mind on that now?
And we did. So basically, when the licensing deals fell apart in the beginning of 2019 or 2020, excuse me, I decided to drop everything and move to Washington, D.C. And so I picked up everything. My family sacrificed a lot to basically enable me to go travel and live in Washington, D.C. for a series of months.
Do you have children now?
I do not.
Okay.
Thank
You know, I love the fact that you're ballsy enough to pivot, though, aggressively when you need to. You obviously will make a change, or you'll attack something and make a change in your life to do that, whether it's go get your own law degree or move to Washington or, okay, oh, never mind. We're not going to license. Now we're going to manufacture.
Yeah, I hate the word no. I am never good with that. And I'm very stubborn. If you talk to anybody that knows me really well, if you tell me no, I say yes. And I say, I'll figure out how to make you say yes. And that's generally my approach to the world.
Well, how much cash has been raised so far total?
So we raised close to $10 million in capital and secured about $10 million in R&D contracts from the U.S.
You're pretty good at getting people to say yes.
It's working out. The biggest win was Congress. So we ended up securing congressional appropriation and authorization in the fiscal year 2021 budget to deploy systems to the Colorado National Guard, Florida National Guard, Oklahoma National Guard, and 25th and 16th CABs in Fort Lewis and Hawaii.
Okay, now just so I understand, these are all things that you're going to deliver products on. This hasn't happened yet. These are contracts that are in motion.
There are contracts that have been already appropriated in Congress.
Okay.
They were led by Representative Horn from Oklahoma, who actually drove that to be appropriated in the last congressional budget cycle.
So now you just have to deliver, right, and get the stuff made on time. Okay, so you are, I guess, for lack of a better term, you're still kind of so I guess you're still pre-revenue, so to speak.
Yeah,
I guess, but it's easier to raise cash when you have the contracts and you're showing the investor, you're holding it up. You're look right here.
Exactly.
How many employees today?
We're at 32.
32 employees. Okay. And where do you see this going? You know, when you're talking to the investor, are you saying, hey, look, every fire department across the country is going to have one of these, or every oil company on the planet is going to have one of these? How are you pitching it?
So I pitched mission first. And this is one of the things that pisses me off about Silicon Valley. It's all about market. Okay. For me, it's actually about mission. I started this company to save lives. And so at the back of our facilities, we have two now. We have our mission statement, and that's to build technology that brings people home every time. And yeah, the market's great. I mean, I'm showing currently revenue projections that would put Vita at close to 21 billion in revenue over a series of the next 5 years. And so there's a lot of attention and growth opportunities for Vita. Okay. But most importantly, when I talk to investors, and what I look for when I'm talking to investors is, are they aligned with my mission? And will they see a success, not in the market numbers, but in the ability to say that, yes, I invested in a tech that now is going out into the Pacific Ocean, or going out into combat, or going out into the Middle East and saving lives. And that is the first thing that I ask for.
You can tell you're passionate about that, by the way. And you're right, because an investor looks at it. I got to admit, I did the same thing. I looked at it and I thought, well, that's cool, but how many of those can you sell, and how can you scale that? I mean, I immediately did the same thing when I was doing my homework. And so, yeah, you can tell that you're passionate about that, which is super awesome. Okay, very good. So if you can save lives, that's the number one mission. And if you can do that and pay employees and make a little money all at the same time, then There's your home run.
Damn straight. And that's exactly what we're running to right now.
If you think today's tip or guest interview can help someone you know, please share this with them. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to hit that little bell next to the subscribe button so you can be notified when we release a new episode. Our show features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviews. You can visit riderflex.com to learn more about us and get information on the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.